still fighting the storm. Hearts full of pain, but we're trying to transform. Mental health matters, can push it aside. We're more than survivors, we're meant to rise. Give us the care, not just the blame, cause healing begins when you call it by name. Stop the bullying, don't look away. Stop being silent, just speak up today. We're still breathing, fighting the storm and trying to transform. Fighting the storm and trying to transform. Fighting the storm and trying to transform. Fighting the storm and trying to transform.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Making Changes Requires Everyone. I'm your host, Shandelle, and with me is my amazing co-host.
Hi, I'm Emily. Today's episode tackles a topic that hits close to home for so many of us, bullying and all its forms, especially racialized bullying, which continues to rise in our society. With everything happening in the world, from what we see in the US to the denial of systemic racism right here in Quebec. This conversation could not be more important.
We're really honored to have a very special guest with us today, Mr. Michael Farkas from Youth in Motion. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Do you want to give us a brief description about what you do?
Yes, I work as director at Youth in Motion for a while since 2008.
Oh, wow.
So it's been a couple of decades almost.
Yes.
And I enjoy it very much. I'm still very passionate about getting up every morning and going there and doing whatever it takes so that when the youth come in, they can have different activities or. We can have discussions. We can have snacks. We have a studio also, and we do have a podcast. But I would like to invite you maybe to come and do a show one day. That would be really cool.
That'd be lovely.
Yeah, that'd be nice. So overall, we go sports. We're out on the outdoors in the summer. I also can offer jobs during the summertime to students that work in the parks and animate and supervise the parks and so on. So, I'm still enjoying it very much.
Wow.
That's
Mr. Farkas, we're truly grateful to sit with someone we see as a community leader and role model. Through your work as president of Black History Roundtable since 2009 and as director of Youth in Motion since 2008, you've helped uplift, empower, and inspire countless young people. Are you ever surprised to hear how many youth look up to you and see you as a change maker?
In a certain way, I am, because you don't know. You just give your best.
Yeah.
You try to be honest with the youth. You try to be respectful. You try to listen. And basically, what the outcome can be sometimes is very, very good, but you don't always know. Sometimes years later, they come back and tell you, "Do you remember you helped me with such and such?"
Yeah.
And that really pleases me. But I still keep on doing it. So, I'm a bit. I'm just humble about the whole experience. That's the way to stay. That's the way to work for me. Because I can always learn also something from that person that I'm trying to help. So in that way, I try to see eye to eye, to put myself at a level where we both can communicate. So in that way, it's rich also for me. So I get something out of it too. Yes.
That's amazing.
That's great. Well, as you know, today we're diving into racialized bullying, a painful reality for many youth across Montreal and Canada. Bullying is already harmful, but when it targets race, identity, or culture, the damage runs even deeper. Statistics show 1 in 3 Canadian students is bullied, and for Black and Indigenous youth, the rates are even higher. A 2021 report found that 60% of black youth in Canada have experienced racism at school.
It's not big numbers, eh?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Those numbers are heartbreaking, and they're a reminder that racialized bullying isn't kids being kids. It's systemic. It comes from stereotypes, discrimination, and attitudes youth observe from a society. So, Mr. Farkas, based on your years of community work, what do you think is feeding racialized bullying in our schools, homes, and communities?
Well, as you say, the youths, they follow the rest of society, sometimes at home, in the streets, in the yard, at school.
Yeah.
There's a saying by Peter Tosh that says you can't blame the youth. So that's the first comment I'd like to say. I'm not going to blame the youth because it's just that it's the epitome that you're talking about is it's just grossing up. It's just more and more. I blame my point of view. The phone doesn't help. That
The
whole,
internet.
the internet, social media. The phone didn't help because it basically people can hide inside a platform online and just go at it with you mentioned in schools, definitely, because that's what you're living and that's where it shouldn't happen. It should be a free zone where people can study, and my gosh, is it not? A lot of tension in those schools, but it happens elsewhere too. People do get bullying in life all around. They get threatened, they get extortion, threats of all kinds. So definitely, I think the liberty of what we've created with the internet and with our phones, for some people, they've taken it to they couldn't maybe say it face to face, so they hide in the back and they say all kinds of very negative sayings to young girls. As you know, racial, but also female. A lot are being attacked sometimes in a very, very brutal and very dishonest, but just in a very dramatic way, and uncalled for. And all these situations are uncalled for. So definitely going to racial slurs and just racism and the bullying that's done around that because of who we are, of what we look like. We got to stop it. I hope some rappers will sing about it and denounce, because it's happening all over, in the States also, and it's got to stop. It hurts the people. We've known of cases where it became fatal. People were so much bullied because in this case of their color or of the way they look, and they brought it to the extreme of leaving this world. So that should never happen, sadly. So it's a very serious topic you're bringing up. There's no exact way of fixing it. But I do know one thing. It shows the ones that do that don't love themselves enough, I would say. Don't recognize their own identity so much because if they would recognize their own identity, they wouldn't so much hurt others like that. So we got to work on the perpetrator. We got to work on the ones that are victim of this racial bullying. But it's not funny. It's not a joke. And we know that some people, they really can go in a heavy depression, or even, as I just said, take matters even further. There should be maybe in school something where they could anonymously go make a complaint, and so that the school authority would take that in account and start really. Math is great, chemistry is great, but maybe we need to spend a little more time in class to go au fond de ça, to go in depth and to really know, where does that come from? Why do you have to? Does that make you feel good to the racial slurs and that bullying to others? So we know from psychologists and from psychology, we know that often the perpetrator is feels very bad. Often has been done the same to him or her before they coming to that, there's cases a lot like that where they've been bullied and now enough with that, I'm going to do it too, which is not obviously the answer. But we need to spend more time in all these and talk with our youth that there has to be a better way of treating each other as a society. I think our governments, I think our leaders don't insist enough on the care we need to give to each other. Often it starts at home, because even at home right now, you talk about racial bullying, and yes, but there's even bullying towards our elders at home and things like that. So just because we don't know how to talk to each other anymore, and either we think it's funny using big words, bad words, or we don't even know the meaning of those words. It looks like, because we're throwing them around, and sometimes even to, as I just said, even to family members. But definitely at school c'est tolérance zéro. It should be like that. And maybe we need a hotline where we could report these incidents. So we need to really start to work, because I suspect that the person also doing it is suffering too.
Yes.
I never let that person just off, oh, no, you're just the perpetrator. No, there's something happening within that person too. But right now, for the victim, it can be detrimental to the point where they don't even want to be in that school anymore, as you probably know.
A lot of it was said. I mean,
That's
but it's true. I mean, come on now. But what makes this even harder is that so much of it goes unreported. Really, a Canadian Teachers Federation report shows that 60% of students feel their school isn't doing enough to address racism and bullying. Sometimes teachers don't know how to respond, or they don't recognize racial bullying at all. So here's a question for you, Mr. Farkas. Why do you think so many incidents go unnoticed or unaddressed by adults?
Well, for the first part, sometimes people don't want to be seen as snitch. Sometimes the youth, them don't want problem coming after them. They're scared, so they're not going to denounce the person that has done that to them. Just like in society, often we'll pass beside certain incidents and we'll just keep on moving. So even others that could see it, sometimes it does take a friend to say, no, you need to report that. No, we need to do something about it. So that's, I think we need to encourage our youth to report it to the right authority, to the parents. Maybe they report it and so nothing is done. And that comes to the second part of the question, where you've asked me that teachers either don't take it seriously enough, or they don't think it's a value of they don't recognize that there is racial bullying in what has happened. So in that way, it's very sad, and there's a lot of teachers that really, really miss it, or maybe they just don't want to be bothered with it. But it's very, very sad, because that's a big part of them educating and accompanying these youth throughout their year. Because even though you're a geography teacher or physics teacher, if the student is not comfortable in your classroom because the person beside them is taunting and bullying them racially in a racial note and all of that, how do you expect that's even going to help them in the matter in the subject that you want them to advance? So the teacher needs to, if he or she cannot do something, it would be really good if they brought it to the right authorities in the school, a committee that could be composed of students, parents, teachers, and obviously the administrative directors and so on should be also part of that, to accompany that, and obviously put a stop to that, and send a stern message to the ones that do that it's not going to be accepted here, and first time, second time, third time, type of thing, like we do with other disciplinary actions that we take. That's I think we need to all take it seriously, because it can change someone's life in a worse worse way or in maybe in a better way too if we look at it and we don't tolerate it.
Exactly. That's why adults, teachers, parents, youth workers play such a critical role. If we aren't intentional about creating safe, affirming spaces for racialized youth, we end up allowing harm to continue. So, concretely, what should schools actually be doing differently? And how can parents help prevent or stop bullying rather than unintentionally enabling it?
Well, we know of cases where the parents they as first of all, some youth will not tell the parents until wow, they'll wait and wait and wait, and when they finally tell the parent, and some parents will not do nothing, thinking maybe it'll arrange the time. Some others will be at the school the next morning, and it's to those one that we hope that more parents take their youth seriously and take action in their hands and go to the school and demand to see the authorities, the principal, to see and have a good discussion. Obviously, there's. If that doesn't work, obviously you demand to the principal to bring in the teacher or the school bus driver. If it happened on the school, well, it happened. It's not just in the classroom often. So whoever as an authority that might have heard it or not heard it, but that is in the presence of the youths that are doing that to others. They need to be called in and to start paying attention. That's the first thing. Second thing, obviously, to put a stop to it, like any other disciplinary action, the teacher and the principal should call in the youth and even call in the parents of the youth to start putting the bar on the T and the point on the I, meaning this is those are either you change. First of all, you want him want he or she to be able to admit that they've done wrong. Also, so it takes a bit of time, but then that it's not going to be tolerated, and another time it's going to be suspended, and and so on and so forth. And have the parents there, and have the other parents also know that they've been heard, that they can hear the same message and everything. So as a mediator, you would want some form of intervention, or if the one that has been served all this racial bullying wants to meet with the other youth and try to find a common ground. Maybe sometimes it's just because they haven't taken time to really to get to know each other, because in our society it's not important to know each other. It's not important anymore to say hi in the morning and all of that. So which is all attached to then, okay, what do I say? Well, I think you know what I mean? So no, things have to change, and if a mediation is possible between between the two person on their they need to want to have it, especially the person that's been done. If they're not ready, they're not ready. That could also be good, and that person, I believe, the perpetrator. He's got friends or she's got friends, so once she because some of them also do it for the attention.
Yes.
The
attention.
And but once that is squashed, which is because it's ego and it's a lot of things now, it's like you're squashing who I am and all of that.
Very high ego.
Yeah, high ego and the attitudes.
Yes.
So once that is a bit is brought down and the person accepts, well, it could even make that the others around, you're not doing that no more. You're, and so on and so forth, which, no, I'm not doing that. Then you really know the person has understood.
Yes.
No, I'm not doing that. It's done for I have better things to do, or it's not cool, and so on and so forth. So it takes a bit of work. So you need forms of animators or counselors in the school to address. Social workers could be also to address these things and see it de-escalate, and also to be able to really see disappear eventually, at least from and then you go to the next people that are also having, and you try to do the same thing. But it does take time, because you don't just you have to but once you do get the right people in the room, parents, and that you show that you're not going to tolerate it, that you're the authority, that your school, we're not into that. We know we're into a lot of other things. Also, I believe that schools have lost so much money given to different projects, to different events, to their field trips. When in my days, man, we'd go to play, we would go, whether it's Shakespeare, Molière, name it, we'd go see plays, and we go, but everything's so changed right now. You can't the school doesn't want to. Okay, it's Christmas. Can't even say Christmas. Okay, but, that has evolved in a certain way, where also teachers and everything are a little, okay, I don't want to rub anyone's feathers, but definitely I do believe that more money needs to be injected in the school programs, in sports and cultural activities, because in those activities, some people that actually were bullying each other can find themselves, oh, I like that too. I like go hiking too. And then, I'm just saying anything, but it can happen. And then changes right away, the report between those two persons. But we don't take time to even know each other. Exactly. In many, many cases, it's not about that. It's about, we've taken your the phone they've taken away. It's created a lot of fights lately. Until they hope a couple of years the fights will go down, because it'll be the ones that were older will be gone. But even that one I find a bit critical, because in certain cases we've all of us you don't necessarily use it. Even when we're at work, we a lot of people fool around on that phone, and it ain't about their job. But I'll let that go, because the focus of youth is if it can increase itself by really following the teacher, or even better, have a tablet or a phone, but you use it for it's mobile encyclopedia. It can do so much. Even probably, I'm not so good in math and algebra, but probably even in that it can definitely help. So why not have it? Exactly. And as we know, the youth, many parents want the youth with everything happening in schools. They want their child to be able to text them quickly, mommy, or daddy, whatever. So, but it is what it is. I'll leave it to that. But we know that it's caused, the fact that they don't have their phone has caused more fights amongst the youth, which shouldn't be. Which shouldn't be. It shows that in a way that, yes, the phone can be very sickening, if I may say, but our own attitudes, where we are as people, how come it resolves too many times in a fight, in confrontation? So as a society, again, you can't blame the youth. They've learned it. Well, look at the wars. Look how the big one eats the little one, and so that's how even we're formatted from the time sometimes we're born. So no, we need to find a better way. We need to explore different ways of respecting one another. It's not miracle. It's not going to happen miracle, because bullying is very old, eh?
Yes.
So bullying it's not new, eh? I'm bigger than you. Let me take advantage. That's one of the minute some people could find out that they could take advantage of a next person, the game was on. It's always since depuis toujours, since a long, long time. So in a way, it's just that it's refined itself, or it's taking on a different, it's mental games too. Eh? It's playing and knowing that, I can press on that button, this reaction is going to come out of that person, and so on and so forth. But overall, it's not tolerable. We should not tolerate it. There should be taken very seriously, just like a school fight, just like a youth striking another student, or striking their teacher. This happened too. Which is a big no-no. Then that the kids often is suspended and will not be back at that school.
Exactly.
I'm not saying for first or second, but definitely we need to put in place the actions that will be taken when these things happen.
Exactly.
Bullying, simple bullying, racial bullying, bullying against women, your girls. We have to take all of it seriously.
Very.
You're absolutely right on all of them, because there's some in there that they do in the school. Really, like a lot of them, and I'm pretty shocked that it's not changing anymore.
Yeah, they don't take it
Like,
seriously
No,
at all.
they don't. Just sad, honestly.
Maybe we need to ask the teacher or the principal if they think it's normal. Do they think it's normal, or was that done even to themselves and they think it's normal? It toughens up someone, or what? What's the idea in back of that? But it doesn't create a good atmosphere overall in the schools, and I can clearly see on your face that. Or even in the classroom, whatever, it can really make one, two, three gangs, whatever. It can bring all kinds of things just from those once it starts. And because if you give them an inch, they'll take a yard, and so on and so forth, and they'll never stop. So it can be very damageable. So even for the teacher and for the principal, it's not. It shouldn't be. I would call in right away the perpetrators, and if I hear one more time, you're suspended.
Exactly.
And I will probably call your parents. Nonetheless, some parents will also call but they and some like they do for other times. The student needs to come in with the parents, or cannot return until the parents show up. All those things that they already have in place for so many things need to be also in place for them.
Yeah, but addressing racialized bullying requires collective responsibility, calling it out, supporting those affected, and pushing for real policy changes. Here's something we've wondered, though. Do you believe schools are generally trying to prevent bullying from students or even staff? If not, what should they be doing instead?
I don't know anymore with what you brought, with the facts that you're showing me, and with your experience from what I'm getting here. I'm questioning if I don't think they'll encourage it, but obviously to turn a blind eye to it, to minimize it. You have to wonder, what's in there for you guys. You like that something that's shouldn't be not be tolerated, and you're being you're letting it slide. I don't know why. I don't think it's encouraged, but in a way, you never know. In our society, it's so much. Haters are huge.
Yes.
Right now. Haters are, because that's how I. So and they're not often denounced, and even that's a game. You look in the rap game.
Oh,
they hate each other, and obviously the Drake. Was Kendrick Lamar. We all.
That was very.
They even old guys like me that don't follow, but now you saw it at the Super Bowl member last year.
Oh yes.
You remember? So they think it's funny. They make their money out of it, but for the ones, the youth and everything. So yes, so some youth. They bullying. Look at it. He's doing it, and let's in a way. I don't mind, when they put them in a ring and they do the rap battles.
Oh yeah.
In a way, I kind of respect that, because then it's. It's I don't know how far they're allowed to go, and so sometimes they go low, but it seems to be accepted, and some girls know how to defend themselves really good. But at least it's and they people love it. You love it because you seem to be. Maybe you can tell me why you don't so much like it, but I've seen the ones that do attend those things. It seems that they can let loose, eh?
Yes.
They can just hearing one going against the other in a rhyming way and everything. I respect that more, because at least we know it's a battle. So at the end, or at the beginning, or even at the end, shake hands again to show that it was only a battle. But what do you think about? Because you were seeming a bit mixed feelings about this one.
Which one?
About going at it in a rap battle, when it's sometimes I don't understand everything, because sometimes even the wording and everything, it goes so quick, or youth have their codes. But so that's why I'm turning to you. Do you find a lot of hurt is also being done there?
I feel like because sure, they're expressing how they feel and stuff, but I feel like at times they take it too up a notch, and they say a lot of hurtful stuff, and it kind of makes them kind of counter back at them and then be like, oh, and it's just like, it kind of makes it even more worse, I would say.
You know what's interesting that once makes me think? The two villager, the two that, that are battling, he goes low, let me go lower. But, but I'm thinking of someone that's listening to them, how that might affect that person that's in the audience. And that person might feel, okay, notice the topo might really hurting me. And that's what I think also that you're thinking about. Sometimes they really bring it to a level where they say things that maybe someone is experiencing in the room.
Yes.
And then, but I was giving that example because that's rap battles is something of today. It's something very but I figure that you're.
I mean, what do you think about it?
What do I think about it? Oh, I think it's great, actually.
Yeah, you seem to be more. Yeah.
Because I'm the type of person that likes to let off my anger, so it's nice to go back and forth, So I agree.
Yeah, when everyone is agreeable, but sometimes a bit like. Certain things. Don't talk about my mother. At least that they should go.
Set some boundaries.
We faut setter des boundaries.
Right.
Parce que je trouve que I've never been in a room. I've just seen it on online and so on. But it seems very exciting and it's. I don't understand every time because it's some of the lyrics and everything. It's not It's in a jargon that I don't always understand.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Mr. Farkas. Everything you shared today carried so much truth and wisdom. We're grateful for your voice.
Yeah, and what you said reminds us. And what you said reminds us that change doesn't happen on its own. You clearly said that. You stated that pretty strongly, which is true. Mm-hmm. It happens when we show up, we speak up and refuse to let racism be ignored. Yeah, that's why this podcast is called Making Change Requires Everyone, because creating safer, more inclusive, more equitable spaces truly is a shared responsibility. But thank you again, Mr. Farkas.
Thank you.
For your passion and insight, really.
Thank you, Emily.
You're welcome.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, it's
You're
a
great people, and it's really nice to be interviewed by you, both of you.
Of course.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you for
you
being here.
You make a good tandem, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yes, wait.
Thank you. Thank you. But thank you so much for being here and for shedding light on a topic that affects so many young people. Your voice matters, and our listeners feel that as much as we do.
Yeah, and to everyone listening, thank you for spending this time with us. If something in this episode resonated with you, please share with a friend, a teacher, a parent, or anyone who wants to hear it.
Yes, share it. Conversations spark change, but only if we keep them going.
Yeah. But let's do this together.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Thank you very much. 1, 2, 3.
This is Making Changes Requires Everyone. Until next time, take care.